G'day Hexes, Havoc here, and I got a little special treat for you, and that is a crazy sealed game. It was a 38-minute game, just finished playing it, and I felt compelled to get the replay and do a recording because it was that stupid. So let's hit resume here and get it going. So let me just make sure. Alright, so I'm just making sure I've got the player speed. So I'm obviously over here against Nightmare. And I'm so this is Frostheart Sealed, and let me just see if I can make sure I can skip the delays. That should be correct. Let me just check. Ending delay. How do I do that again? Disable player speed. There we go. All right. So let's get this underway. So most of it's going to be self-explanatory, but you know, so he's got an okay hand. He's got a good blocker there. There. Okay, whoops. There's a really beast of a card. I paused that. Let's resume. I think I got it. Yep, there we go. Just gotta get that working. So, yeah. I'm not gonna say too much, as again, most of it is self-explanatory. He decides not to play that there, which is interesting. But yeah, so I just put down my beetle here. Oh man, I mean, I didn't know he had either of these until much later in the game, but this here is that there was the kicker. This thing was hard enough to deal with. You'll see as we go here, but this game gets ridiculous. Just enjoy. So I'm trying to put on pressure here, so I'm hitting in for 3. I've stunned that, so therefore I can swing again, and I'm hoping to poppy. Now obviously I didn't know he's sitting on a Rhyme Claw. So he puts that, oh no, he does the decay this time. So he does the decay, so then I'm like, well, I just decided to put this down here. Instead of doing, in hindsight, I thought, I'll just do this later, I'll be more resource effective here. I'll hit in for the 7, put down my Frost Rock. I don't, in this way, nothing dies if he draws a shard, is why I'm doing that. But then, so I'm like, I'll just do this later. Eventually it'll still, it'll still be good. But that's when he plays this down. So then I'm like, oh, okay, now it's not that good anymore to do it, because all it's going to do is get rid of the invincibility. So it's not, it's like, all right, well, whatever. I'll start flying in. So I put down my caravan. Now that I've already just put it down. I don't know why it already shows 5. That's just a glitch. So don't worry about that. It's remembered at what point it stopped, I guess. But so he kills my flyer, which is annoying. He decides, he's still not putting down. Wait, no, it's 6 cost, isn't it? Never mind. So yeah, 6 cost. So I get the resource now. This, yeah, so it's a 1. So ignore the 5 there. Just gave me my first troop. So he still hasn't. He still can't do that. But he's not under any trouble anymore. He got rid of my flyer. So he's now. I'm just gonna block there. And I'm still just holding these. They don't do anything to the board state, so I figured I'll hold them. In this case, I decide to Trump Knight and kill that. And it gives me another good troop on the board, but he's got more than enough, so I don't have any aggression or anything here. So I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. So he still can't do it yet because he doesn't have, he's got a shard that doesn't give him a resource for the turn. So that's fine. I'm still okay. So at this point, I do decide to swing with this to get rid of that because it was useless, and therefore whatever he blocks with I can use the Frost Fang Cackler, what I just gained from the caravan. So that was my second troop from the caravan. So then I play the Pack Mule. Still no need to do this, even though there's not really much point holding it, but I do. So then he puts this down, and then I'm like, oh, that's really bad. So then he kills the Frost Fang with the charge power there, sacrificing the initiative wax. So this is where I'm like, oh, this is really bad. What else do I have to this? So then I think this is where I'm just like, oh, let's get aggressive. I didn't actually think too hard about my outs, because had I done so, I would have remembered one. So I do actually have something that, I'd actually maybe I even draw it next turn. We'll find out. But that there will end up. Proving to be the wrong play there to sacrifice to let my, I was drilling these board states, so I was thinking, alright, well, let's just do that. But he's still just got too much stuff. But you'll see what I mean here momentarily. So, no, I don't draw it yet. So now I'm going to get a free 3-drop now, I believe. And it's, no, it's a 4-drop. So we're at 4, and it's Port of Jazz again. Sadly, don't get to get its effect there. So it's just a 4-3. So I decide to trade that off and hope he doesn't have more, in which case he doesn't. I'm still obviously dying to this. And, you know, now, you know, the good thing is I've got the Merry Caravan. It's at 4 counters. One more gets me a 5-drop, and then, you know, and so on and so forth. So I'm not, you know, I'm still thinking, alright, well, let's jump while I can with that troop. I get the resource here, and this is where I hit big. Boom, Crocosaur. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. So I kill those 2 things right there, and I'm like, oh, that's very good. Now I'm back in control of this game completely. But we know what he's got in hand, and that's a Mortram's Gift there. And he's about to get it back, and now it's going to have Swift Strike. So, and it's like, oh man, this game, you know, who... it's back and forth of who's winning. I started off okay, he then turns it around, and then I was in the back seat, and then... This is where I actually did a punt here as well. So I play out my flyer, and I'm like, alright, I can block and just give it Gladiator to... You know, I forgot about his charge bar completely. But yeah, it's whatever. It did end up making a difference. So, you know, this was a mistake. I should have technically just taken the damage. But, yeah, so we get him to sack a candle. Not great. I mean, the good thing is he is still sitting on shards. We're both at 10. I draw a bad draw there, which is a Witch. So he's going to trade there as expected. So I'm still sitting here like, so, yeah. It's, you know, been many turns since I let that Chomp Knight die, so I guess that was actually irrelevant. But I do end up drawing, I think it's probably now. There it is, Jack Hat Heckler. So, you know, I'm sitting there like, you know, I'm thinking maybe he's got Frost Blast in hand. So I'm like, alright, I don't want to play it, and I don't want to play it out and have it potentially die to something, because it's, you know, it's potentially my only way to answer this. So I'm holding it. Because I'm like, he's at that much health, I just, you know, and this is where it's like, oh no, you got rid of that. And that was, I was banking on getting a 6-drop, then doing that, and then killing, you know, trying to battle with the 6-drop. So him killing that, now I'm just like, well, screw it. I'm going to just play it out. But then I'm like, well, no, I still can't risk Frost Blast. So I decide not to attack. Which, had I done so, I might have won this game, you know. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I'm at 3 health. I'm needing the top deck. And here it is! Hide and seek. Kiss me. It's putting it back in his deck. So, alright, sweet. Now, I think I still hold back here. No, I decide to swing now. I'm like, screw it, let's just go. I need to obviously get through a lot of life total. So he's just sitting on resources. I believe now I draw... Okay, it's just a birdie. So now, I probably shouldn't have played the bird. I probably should have actually used the witch there. I just wasn't... I just, you know, did it really quickly. And was like, let's keep swinging. Because, you know, he does need to draw something. And sadly for me, he does. And he's got the charge power. So, bam, there goes the bird and the heckler. So, not great. And obviously now all I have is 4 damage on the board. He's healing for 1 a turn. So it's like, alright, we need to get more damage. Didn't get any. Keep the resource. Got my charge power, but it's not enough. We need him to not draw. And he drew very nicely there. So Ebonhorn, it's like, alright, well that changes everything again. So the best I can do is just put a troop down and, you know, stop him from attacking me because I can double block it. He gets another good defensive troop down. So I'm like, well, this is really bad. I need flyers. So this is where I'm like, alright, screw it. Let's hit it for 4. Really, I should have probably thought about this a bit longer. I was just like, whatever, let's just go and hopefully draw some stuff. But obviously with him with that Daybreak on the board, even if I get him low, it's just going to build back up again. So really, I should have probably just held onto this until later. But I decide to use it. I then draw a shard, so I hit him for 8, but again, he's just going to start healing it back up again unless I have more ways to punch through, which, you know. But I was getting annoyed at the game. It's like, oh man, this game is... See, we got him to 4. So that turn that I didn't attack with that heckler, you know, might have made all the difference there, but anyway. So he's now just going to start healing. I can't swing. So I'm at 3, he's now back to 6. He's eventually going to draw it, and there it is. The Twilight Archon is back, and I'm like, oh, I need a top deck. The game's now over, and no, it's Cloud Kill. No, it's a little Thunderbird, never mind. So the Cloud Kill, I draw next turn. I thought it was that turn, but yeah, so I chump block here, and then I draw a Cloud Kill, which keeps me in the game. So it's like, alright, we need a top deck. And I do fortunately get Cloud Kill. My probably only out left in the deck, and I'm pretty sure it is. So there's the Cloud Kill. I'm like, oh wow, I'm still in this. But and so here's now obviously my thinking now is, all right, I need to win through him decking out. I'm like, that's you know, he's gonna deck out before me. He's got 7 cards, I got 9. So I'm like, all right, I'll just sit back as long as he doesn't have any flyers or another Runic Decay, stuff like that. Then I'm fine, and then I get a flyer. So that's now I don't need to worry about flyers because I'm gonna get 2 of them. So even though he can charge power and kill, so I'm like, all right, well maybe I can even win with the Hawks. So he plays this. Doesn't have any elemental though, so that's fine. But I'm still obviously thinking, all right, we'll try to do some damage with Hawks, but we'll just try and win through deck out. Now it's like, oh, we can get rid of the Daybreak with the Chunk Knight, so now we can actually potentially win in the air even before he decks out, if we get that shard in a timely fashion. So he draws something that's kind of irrelevant, but there's always the factor that he can always just attack with the Ebonhorn. But so I do get the Pixie here, which I decide to transform the Widow. Just makes him just decide if to trade the Killblade. So I'm happy to do that. Still looking, I'm like, all right, this is looking good. He's probably gonna deck out. The stuff he's playing is not a big deal. We're actually doing damage. How you going, Bella? Ugh. Spellsong Sweeties. Would have been nice if I kept that Runic. But so I'm like, all right, we're doing this. It's looking good. He's only got 3 more cards left in deck. Well, that one's a show, so that doesn't matter. So it's looking good. There's my resource, and now I've got the 2 Hawks. So we're putting him to 6. It's looking like I'm gonna win. I'm like, yeah. Because it was such a crazy game. This again, this is a quick replay because it's not at player speed. That's all disabled. But it was a 38-minute game with both of us, and at this point we're both at like 2 minutes on the clock on both of our timers. Just so you know. So he kills one of my flyers, because he has to. He has to buy time because he's gonna. But he knows something that I don't, and that's this card right here. Boom. Escalate. Light the votives. Plus he's got the 2 poppies. I'm like, are you flipping my floobs? I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I can't win anymore. I don't, I'm like, I don't think I have any outs to this. Because now he doesn't deck out at all. He can always just keep playing that card. He can also stop my flyers every turn, thanks to double Hermit and the Candle. So I'm like, oh, I guess the game's over now. So, our timers at this point are now maybe a minute. Or maybe it's this point it was like a minute something. But, so I'm just like, oh man, that sucks. He then gets a flyer down even, so he can now, But anyway, so at this point I'm just like, oh, I guess I lose the game. So now I did just, what I technically should have done is actually waited to draw my last card, and then, because it is actually a resource, because I have 16 shards in my deck. But and then I could have charged power and had 2 flyers extra. It still probably wouldn't have mattered because of the double Hermits. But I was just like, ah, screw it, I've lost. I'll full swing. And then now obviously now I'm going to pause. So at this point, he has about a minute on his timer. I guess I had a little bit more than that. But I'm like, oh, I guess I lose now, so I'll just swing and hope he stuffs up or something. Right, so... And, he doesn't stuff up, so he does block. So let me actually re-enable player speed. I think I've done that. There we go. So you can see he takes 70 seconds. I guess, maybe longer than that he took, but he only had a minute something. And I was like, alright, all you're going to do is block, you're going to heal for 7 there. I mean, he's going to heal for more technically. But, and I'm just watching the timer like, okay, alright, I mean, you've won the game. All you got to do is block. As long as these 2 block things, I can't get enough damage, even with the pile drive. So, because you can block here, block this, and then just block and block. But yeah, he thinks about it for quite a while. So I will resume now, and you'll see what happens. So, whoops, I paused it. There we go. So, he did the blocks. I pile drived anyway, just because whatever. It puts him to 3 health. And I was like, well, it's a shame, that was a crazy game. I even said to him, it was a crazy game. And he's like, yeah, lol. This is earlier on, when the game was still halfway through, it got even crazier. But yeah, then this happened. So, you know, the damage goes in. Sorry, let me disable it again. So the damage goes in. Bella, what's this doing? Hey, resume. There we go. So he does that, gets a little bit more health. So I only put him to 3 health, and I'm like, alright, he's just going to swing back now. But, you know, his timer is about 15 seconds. And I'm like, what? And then he just timed out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, he thought for a very long time on that block. He didn't need, you know, I don't know. He was obviously worried I had something, but, you know, what are the odds in my last 2 cards I draw something that can get through that much life gain? But, yeah, I was surprised, but it was a really, really insane game. Really insane game. And then I just, you know, I thought it was pretty funny just to win like that. Even though all he had to do was block, pass, turn, swing. But yeah, so that was a pretty nutty game. Archon plus Mordrim's Gift is a pain in the butt. But yeah, free Crocosaurs, Light of Days to get rid of my caravan. Crazy stuff. But yeah, so that was that. So let's see, we turned a 38-minute replay into 16 minutes. Not bad, not bad. Alright. Well, thank you for watching. Take care and have a good night.